Hi guys, hi, I'm greeting you. I have a little bit of Christmas going on here. I hope you can see it. I just realized that I dressed myself up and I put my camera really high, but I just adjusted. Welcome everyone. We are meeting yet again, not on Friday, and I want to apologize. First of all, I wasn't able to be here on last Friday as I had a bit of emergency. I had to take my dad to hospital, to ER, but all is well, and I will share a little bit about it later on. But just to explain why we are broadcasting today. Today we are going to be talking about what it means to be successful, and Zuzka and I, who is joining me in a little moment, really wanted to do this streaming because we felt it's so appropriate to do this streaming before Christmas, and we will tell you a little bit more about why. But we are feeling very inspired and very happy to be here with you. So for now, just to welcome you all and say I'm really glad I made it today. So welcome, and in this point I'm welcoming also Zuzana. Zuzi, welcome.
Hi, hello, thank you. Hello everyone.
Hello everyone, and for those of you who are joining us, let us know where are you joining us from, how is your pre-Christmas time, whether you're already running around or you are kind of almost sorted and presents in terms of presents, and if the madness is happening. We are actually doing the Christmas streaming this Friday in Slovak language, and we look forward to that one as well. But today we are talking about what it means to be successful.
And we were supposed to go live on Friday, was it?
Yes,
Did you say that? Oh,
I was already mentioning that.
Okay.
I already said. But you know, like Zuzana and I, we've been talking in between, and you know, I had quite challenging time recently, and we could have just gone, okay, Friday's gone, we didn't make it, but we both agreed that this is such a I think such a valid subject for so many of us, and there's so much juice and there's so much we want to offer you with this streaming, that we decided to go ahead anyway and find time in, like a little slot in a week, so we can do this for you. So welcome again everyone. Maybe we just briefly introduce ourselves, and then we've got some questions for you, so stay on.
Yeah, so shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my name is Zuzana Taylor. I'm a transformational business coach and EFT practitioner. I help and guide women. I'm thinking how I'm going to say this, because what we're going to talk about today is really, when I was preparing myself and I was thinking about this theme, it's like, this is exactly what I and what you, Lucy, help women and people, help and guide them towards what we're going to talk about today, which is the success, that, you know, but what it means something different to everyone, and at different stages of our lives. So I help women and men, I guide them and help them. When they approach me, it's usually when they want to start a business or something related to business, and usually something that's not working, or they're stuck, or they don't know how to do things. But okay, to start with, when we set up business, is really, you know, it's steps to do. There's certain steps to do and things and play and systems to put in place. But once you pass that, then it's like that what we're going to talk about. Once you pass that, it's more. Then you find, and when we go deeper, it's more to do with who we are, what we want, what we're capable of, what we are stuck with, where we are stuck with. It might be something, mindset or trauma or something that is holding us back. And this is what help us towards that success. If we are stuck there and going around the circles, obviously the business struggles, the relationship struggle, everything around us. So and so that's what I help women to do, to go past those struggles and dig deeper and heal, or whatever needs to be done, not just the business but also other aspects and areas of life. So yeah, I hope I said it. I know it's quite,
And I love how you do it, because there is a lot of business coaches who give you like strategies how to make your business profitable, but that's about it. And sometimes that's important also, and it's very valid and needed. But what Zuzana is doing, for those of you who don't know Zuzka yet, I love how she does it, because she's integrating business and life. She's not saying, okay, this is business, this is life. When I shut the door to my business, then life starts. No, I do it also, and I believe in it also, that these two things go hand in hand, especially if you're doing something you're passionate about. And when you're stuck in life, it's reflecting on your business, whether you want it or not, and vice versa.
You can't ignore it.
You can't ignore it. Yes. And a lot of times, we struggle with our self-esteem. We are feeling stuck in life. By the way, I want to do this live about being stuck, because I had a lot of people dealing with this at the moment. Like, I'm feeling stuck in life, I'm not moving forward. It's very interesting. I look forward to it.
We'll do that.
Write something about it. And then we do live. But I love how you do it, and thank you for doing it. And you also do EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, helping through specialized technique to people. So yeah, if this resonates and relates to in any way, reach out. Feel free to reach out to Zuzana. Yeah, Susie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I started doing coaching, it was 6 years ago, if I remember well. It was even more like there were more business, it was very business orientated, and it didn't really, yes, I was doing it and I was coaching business, but then I knew that there was something more that I was doing as well, helping these women and guiding them. It wasn't just a business, it wasn't just the marketing, it wasn't just that kind of like, go forward and do this and these steps. It was more deeper, and that was helping, and I could see it was helping these women in other areas of their lives, not just business. So but now what I'm going to say, I was going to say, now you can see more that we're moving, and I feel it as humanity. We're moving more towards this it's not just business, it's also everything else. You have to feel yourself. It has to come from you, from inside, and it's family included, because if we know, if you run a business, there's your family. You can't really ignore that. And it's not just business, it's also if you have a job. Many of us work from home, or many people work from home now, so it's not just one thing. Like, I go to business, do business, and that's it. Everything else is put aside. So, but it's moving into that. It's more, people are open to that, and they know now that it's not just that. It's not just one-sided. It's everything.
Yeah, and it's perfect introduction, because today we are talking about success, and we are not just talking about success as many people see, that the glittery stuff on the top. Today we are going to be talking about success, what it really is success. When you close the door to your house and nobody sees you, when you are alone, how do you feel inside when those things that are not on a Facebook, the glamorous pictures, the car you drive. We are going to be talking about success from much deeper and broader perspective. And very briefly, I introduce myself. My name is Lucia Hoxa. I'm fertility and relationship coach, and I have been doing this for about 2 decades. I love what I do. I do work predominantly with women, and paradoxically is my name day today, and my name means light.
Yes.
Yeah,
Happy name day.
in our country, the 13th of December is kind of day of all the witches, but good witches, and our name means light, and I really relate to this name, the kind of person I am, and many I think who know me or works with me or know me well, friends and family, kind of see this in me, and I'm very grateful because we all have a light inside us, and it's about and I believe, I take it like we need to be, it's our responsibility to take care of our own light, because only then we can shine on others. And today is symbolic that even my recent experience with my father, who is being hospitalized, and he's been in a hospital for a week. Today is the greatest gift because he's being released from the hospital, which is amazing gift for me on my name day. But this week yet again I've been able to feel and experience that, how people say that love moves mountains. It is true. Against the odds, we are so capable of causing miracles through pure love. I was fighting like a lioness for my father's life, for his health, for and we all are capable of this. And I guess this is how I also help people, and this is my why I do what I do. I'm passionate about relationships. I'm passionate about bringing people together, about supporting them to live the best possible life. Because even this week, seeing what I've seen in a hospital on a daily basis, people at the end of the life, all we have is what we leave behind us. And this is how I genuinely trying to live my every single day. And I'm so entirely grateful for the profession that I've been able to do, and provide for my family through, and meet some extraordinary people, extraordinary women who live extraordinary lives. Because the people who choose to hire the coach or to get a support is huge amount of courage, and that kind of, it tells me a lot about you who reach out to us. As I think you got the same, Susie,
Yes.
like I know it takes courage, and it takes something that is, you want something, I wanted to say more, but it's more like you believe there is something else that is possible for you and your life, and that's where it starts, and that's where we come in, and that's where we support you to find those answers. But not only that, I also take connections in a way that you get unstuck from something that you maybe been struggling for years and years and years. And we are those little angels, we bring the lights to your life this way, supporting you through the process of transformation, and your life.
It's beautiful, and it's so powerful, when, and do you know when they make that decision, it's already, once they make the decision, I'm going in, that is, they've done a big, it's like a stone has fallen off their shoulders, and it's all, they already started the journey, and it's like they've gone already halfway through, everything, they leave everything behind. Not completely, but a big a massive weight falls off their shoulders, and they're all in, and you can see how
because they don't have to struggle alone. Many of us struggling alone. And I have many of my clients, before they start, they say, Luz, I'm really nervous, I don't know if I'm going to because we really challenge you. You've got homeworks and all sorts of things, but that's the juice. That's how you progress. It's not it's not for everyone. It's not easy. But what I'm trying to say, they're often like nervous, and that's a good thing, because that means that you care, that you if you're not nervous, you just
it doesn't really mean very much, does it?
You need to have something in stake. But if you really want something a lot, and and like being a lioness is what I can use as an example. You know, if you want something so much, or something in your life doesn't work to the degree that is itching you and scratching you, and the pain, not physical but maybe even physical, is
Can
so
be physical
big
as
that you
well.
can't bear it anymore. That's where it's something, and there is a choice. You can become bitter and, you know, angry about the world, or, you know, sad or depressed. You know, there's many ways you can go, or you can, you know, just choose not to be alone, reach out, and at least talk to us if
Yeah, do
yeah,
something about it.
yeah, do something about it. So anyway, today we are talking about success. So first, I want to ask you guys a question. When we say success in life, what is, because I want to make this interactive, and don't worry, even if you're watching from reply, you can, you know, reply later. Put in the comments what for you means to be successful. When I say success in life, what is the first thing comes to your mind? Or even like with the sentence, like, I would consider my life successful at the end of my life if what happens.
You mean at the end of the life, like
Yeah,
when the life is over?
yeah, you know, looking back from retrospective, like looking back in my life, you know, just picture it, because we are all going to be there in one point. So I just want to give you for the beginning like food for thought, just to ask, okay, if I one day look back at my life, what I will see, you know, that yes, this is why my life was successful, what I would believe the success is.
And the good thing is as well, maybe what you want to be remembered
Mm.
as, or by, or how you want to be remembered.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's how I think of it, you know. It's not what, and that's what we're gonna, that's what we talk, this is what we're talking about, is the success, you know. People view success differently, and again at different stages of life. And when I'm there, I might completely feel something or think something different. But right now, what I would want to be, how I would want to be remembered, or what I would, is what I want to leave behind for my children, maybe for the people that for the people that I have touched, or had or, you know, had a contact, or any, you know, seen, or, you know, any contact with anyone. Because when you see people, when you make connections, you leave something on them, some kind of print, isn't it? They remember as someone, or someone, or for something. So for me it's that, and love, really. It's all about love.
I guess it's also like how people felt in your presence.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly.
how people felt in your presence, and what do they remember about you? You know, the conversations, the way you touched them, moved them, inspired them, or just looked at them even, or smiled.
Yeah.
You know, how they remember you in different situations in their life, you know. Even today, like I had a client in the morning I was sitting in a coffee shop, and then afterwards I met one lady from kindergarten, one mom, and it was only 15 minutes. I had a still bit of lemon water I wanted to finish, and I was speaking to her, and it was only 15 minutes. It wasn't long conversation or something, but you know, when I could feel the vibe, I could feel how we exchanged it was heartwarming, you know. She also had some difficult stage in her life. She just came back from Norway, and I can relate to many things she was sharing with me, and I was sharing with her, you know, the moments with my dad, and the magic and the closeness and the hardship and the really hard bits and injustice, whatever. And this is it, you know, this is, I think, big part of how I relate to success. You
Yeah.
know, like what do we leave behind us, how we are going to be remembered, the kind of things people will say during our funeral,
Mm.
you know, how much our presence will be missed, how much you
Yeah.
would miss if we don't stream anymore. Would anybody miss us? You know, I
Yeah.
don't know. I know
Yeah.
you're still watching.
It's not about, sorry to interrupt, it's not for me at least. You know, I lost both of my parents, and it's not, I don't mean, you know, it's not the material things that you remember or you cherish, at least me.
Yeah.
It's them, it's what they left behind in terms of, you know, what my mom, for example, taught me, or what I remember what she was doing, the touch, the smile, and all those things. That's what we're missing. And it's not the money or food sometimes, you know, because you remember the good dishes that they made, and you try to make them as well, and things like that. It's not the material things. It's not that. We
You know, it's,
rarely
yeah,
think of those.
it's funny that you are talking about the way they touched us, actually physically as well. Like
Yeah.
my mom is, you know, elderly, and you know, she's almost turning into a child now with her diagnosis. But you know, the way she can touch me, like physically touch me, when she put her hand on my, you know, the other, you know, few weeks ago when I went to see her, just lie down next to her, and she just put her arm, you know, just she was
Yeah.
just holding me like this. Oh my God,
Yeah, I know.
nothing like that. Nobody. Uh, it's mom's touch, even though she's old now, even though she's not well. But it's mother's touch, and I felt, honestly, Susie, I thought I'm going to start purring or something. I didn't move an inch. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just like this
Oh,
there, and
yes.
I was just like really breathing it, physically breathing in that, you know, that, I don't know, it was heavenly feeling, and I felt just like a child in a womb. I can't even describe it. If you experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. And then I was thinking, oh, I hope my children are feeling the same way when I touch them. How beautiful
They
it is to
do.
experience it, you know, other way around. And they do, because they are seeking it and they want it,
You
and it's
know, the
beautiful.
mother's touch is healing. You know, we know,
Yeah.
especially when they're not well or they're upset. Or we talked about this before, didn't we? When they're not well, and you know they want you to be with them. They're not asking for medication or anything. They want you.
Yeah.
And when you hug them, when you give them that attention, the love, that's healing. That's healing. It's healing them. They recover much faster when I'm around. Obviously, I'm always
Oh,
around, but they do recover much faster when you make that time to sit with them, to be with them, than, you know, cooking or doing other things that, you know, or cleaning. Just being with them. That, and my son is now 9, and he can say it. He says, "Oh, mommy, you make me feel so much better. I feel much better now." It does. It's that. And I miss it. I know, because I don't have parents anymore. And this is what I miss. I can feel it. I really, sometimes when I'm not well, I need that mother's touch, or I need that, speak to her. I do. I do, because we're connected. But, you know, that physical touch. So I go to my children or my husband.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Susie, I reminded you, but you know,
No,
like,
it's fine. It's fine. And I think, and we said at the beginning that we're going to talk about things that people never talk about or rarely talk about.
yes.
And so it's fine. It helps me as well, you know, to talk about it. So it's fine.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And talking about, you know, I was talking about my name day and his light. And do you know what just came back to me? It came to me when I was sitting with my dad yesterday, and day, especially the day before when it was quite critical. I was just holding for an hour. I was just holding his one hand I was holding, and the other hand I had like this, you know, stroking him and just holding. And I could feel, you know, I could feel, I mean, being a yoga teacher, I was touching people a lot, so I kind of know how to touch to heal.
Yeah.
And of course you do it for your dad because he's your dad. And you know, he was, in that point, he was very, very weak, and he was hallucinating. We saw the cat and things like that in the hospital, of course not. But in one moment, and my dad doesn't talk this way, talking about light, he said to me, I wish I have at least half of this light that I am receiving right now.
Mm.
And it came out of nowhere, you know. But I understood that's what is, I mean, you know, I have a lot more evidence of everything what I ever, you know, what I believe in for the last 20 years, what I'm talking about, what I'm doing, what I'm coaching,
Yes.
and how it works, all these energy fields, and you know, how the light and love works. And it's just so beautiful that yet again God gave me experience, which wasn't easy, but to prove that all this works. And so I feel privileged to be able to share it, especially before Christmas, because it is time of light. It is time of, you know, when what is coming out is whether our relationship works or not. If they work, it's even more beautiful. If it doesn't work, it shows. And so, and part of being successful, I believe, and that's why I love what I do also, is relationships, is exactly this, you know, like, what is my relationship with my parents? What's my relationship? How my children relate to me? Am I close enough to talk to them about anything? Being the kind of support they need right now in this stage of life. You know, am I getting on with my neighbors so I can, you know, bring them cakes for Christmas and share the, I don't know, help with the Christmas tree? Am I, you know, this is what success means to me also. You know, the relationships we have, you know, through this stage this week, I also discovered how privileged I am to have brother and sister and broader family, like my dad's sister and my cousins, and you know, like, they've been unbelievably supportive. And although I was the one who was holding my dad and doing all the logistics and doctors and nurses and medication and everything, but they've been there, like, right behind me, like, supporting me. We've been pulling it together, because I found it being absolute privilege to actually invite them in a space where they can help me. It wasn't like I was crying for help, but I knew that it's going to be a privilege and big experience for all of us as a family to pull together, to yet again, you know, this is the second time we are saving our dad's life. That's how I see it, you know. And of course, story continues, but, you know, for now we are winning. So success, what it means to be successful. Susie, sorry, I was talking a little bit too much.
No. It relates. I relate to that completely, and we had an exchange of messages. And you know, in these kind of situations, when it seems like it's really hard and it can't get any harder than this, there is this, like you're talking about light or energy or something, love, could be love. There's this enormous love and energy pouring onto you that, you know, you somehow, you find this strength and this compassion. I've got goosebumps now. You find this strength, this compassion to carry on and to spread the love even more, even though you're down, really down. There's this, and I feel, and I think it's because, you know, this is where, when we come back to ourselves in this situation, when not when everything is fine, not when you can you know, afford to buy whatever you want, you know, and buy another thing, materialistic, another thing, and you're not satisfied. Is this then in these situations, which is a normal life, that's how life is designed, at the end of somebody's life, it's you come back together as a family, as a strong unit. And not just family, it goes further. In my case, it went so
You're
much further.
touching so many people's lives,
Touching so many people's lives, and they're so open and they're so loving. They help, they come, you don't even have to ask.
Yes.
And it just comes out of you. It's so powerful, and you don't even have to ask. You're so humble, and they come and help and offer help. And I felt like I was so open, that, open to receive. And I didn't really ask for anything. And the help was coming. And I got, when my mom passed away, I was on my own. It was COVID. I couldn't bring anyone, my family or anyone. And people kept coming to me. They lent me a car because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a car. My husband wasn't, so I could move around. Strange people, like my brother's boss. He lent me a car. He didn't know me before. And it's like, and then, lots of so beautiful things happen. And what I'm trying to say, this is when we come back to love and see how strong that is and can be. And we can, without really making a big effort, achieve, because that was an achievement for me to achieve in the highest possible, it's hard to explain, in the highest, in the good, it's the good for all, it's for the best of all, in the highest possible way you're achieving, and everyone is achieving at the same time, the goodness, the love, the need or want to help. It's almost
like for the greater good of all.
The greatest, yes, exactly. It's for the greatest good of all. And that's it. That is the success. That's one part.
Yes, beautiful.
That was my success then. And I know I can go back to it. But when, it's really, and it brings me back to it, because that was something really like, wow, it opened my eyes. It was completely different level. It happened in that state, little bits before, but this was like something massive, and I know I can access it, and I know it's there.
You see, like, it reminds me when I've got it, like, I'm fighting like a lioness, for those I love, and I have it also with my clients when I say over my dead body, this is not going to, like that. And this is very, very powerful. And I love, we've been exchanging messages because Uska went through it, and I was thinking about you a lot this week, a lot. And I love what you said also, that, when someone dies, or when you're so close to dying or mortality, whether your own or with someone you feel very close to. My father is very, very close to me.
Of course.
You said your heart opens to the degree that you rarely experience that in life. This is not always, right? You can go other way. Many people go other way. They can go bitter, angry. This is not fair, we stressed, guilty even. But if this is the beautiful thing about what we do and personal development, because we not only teach and support you guys, but we also obviously live it to be able to do it. It's not even possible to do anyway, other way. But inside that, we have a privilege to grow and experience these kind of moments in very magical way. And this is probably one of the best things about our jobs, really, that it provides us with the tools, with the with that kind of wisdom, I guess, because that's another thing. Your heart opens to, but what was also what I was experiencing was great amount of wisdom. Intuitively, I exactly knew who to call, like logistically practical things, who to call, where to go. I was operating surprisingly very, very well, in spite of very little sleep and other things. I still got a little
Yeah.
kids to look after alone. And, but it was, my brain was just creating, co-creating,
Yes.
communicating, arranging, and everything in order to, provide comfort and heal my dad. So,
and there is peace around it, isn't it? It's not chaos.
No, it's not manic. No.
It's not manic.
Peaceful.
It's peaceful. It's peaceful.
Yeah. It's peaceful. So, we are today talking about success. Keep on saying to us, maybe even sharing the situations. Now we shared something like, when did you experience your true, what do you call it, what you believe was your, success in life? When did you feel maybe useful, maybe variations of it? What can you, and also I want you guys to say, because we talk so little about what we are being proud of. We admit it very, very randomly. And I want you to share what you are being proud of yourself inside being successful. And I really don't care about what is your job or what you do, or I've got a good friend who used to be in big banking. She's politologist and she's got a great school, and she's very she was working for banking sector. She was quite high up, and she's now ended up in village near Manchester, and completely out of her character. She's working for a parish, for a church, at the moment, and she loves it. Normally young people don't do these kind of jobs, but she loves this. She feels it's a calling from God, and she completely found herself there. And when she puts her ego on the side,
it doesn't sound like a job anymore.
No,
it sounds like a purpose, life purpose, and she's living what she is passionate about, and what she wants to share and receive as well, because it's not all about giving. You have to receive as well, and be prepared and be open to receive, because sometimes it's hard. So it is living the purpose and the passion, and so it's not a job anymore. When we think we have to go to the job, it's a job. And that's one of the things in the hierarchy of needs, in the motivation, isn't it? Is to have is to have job, where we move from the basic needs to the self. It's called the self-actualization, but to the highest level, which is probably when people argue, or psychologists argue, whether everyone actually gets there. But there is glimpse of things that we do experience it, like I think my example was, and like your friend and yours, there's glimpse, but it doesn't last all the time, does it? So the job, I go back to the job. So the job is one of those things when you feel like you have a job. Yes, it provides money, it provides security, it provides all of that. But does it actually? And sometimes we have to have that, and we have to feel like we have to have a job to provide all of those things. Yeah.
But if you can combine it, that's
if you combine it, and does it fulfill us, or does it give us purpose, or can we have something on the side that gives us purpose? Like she just changed completely from that job to which provided her, probably led her to what she's doing now. So it's beautiful, isn't it, when you actually see it?
Because she actually asked me, I was like, am I crazy? Like, a lot of people think I'm crazy. They're asking me, what am I doing here? And I said to her, Zuzi, like, because she's been in personal development, she's done courses with me, and I can talk to her on that kind of level. And I said, what part of you, ego is talking, what part of you love is talking? And I said, well, at the end of the day, success also I believe means, how do you really find at the end of the day? When you sit with your family having a dinner, how do you really, what can you share? Like, is it like the struggle, it's the suffering, it's I'm exhausted. Sometimes I'm exhausted. Most
Yeah,
of the
of
days
course.
actually I am.
Yeah,
But is it happy exhausted, excited for whatever will come next, or or do you even have a time to sit down with your family for a dinner? You
exactly.
know, like that's the one very rich man, one of my friends who owns like third of Canary Islands, said to me once, is that, you know, real freedom, and that's part of success also, is to be able to eat and sleep whenever you want.
Mm.
And it was so true, because when you really think about it,
Yeah,
yeah. And I wanted to say,
exactly.
sorry, one more thing, that this friend of mine, you know, ended up there, and how she ended up, because maybe some of you will be asking, yes, I would love to do something that I love, which is what Zuzka actually coaches on, and earn money with it, but I don't know how, and I actually hate my job, and da, da, da. And she said to me that she, at the time where she actually got this job, she was going through actual really big personal crisis. Her partner left her, long-term partner, and you know, she had a lot of like little bit of tragic moments happening before that, and she was quite lost, you know. She was, and literally she said to me, then I remembered you and what you told me. She said, Lucy, and I just surrendered. And she believes in God, so she said I just surrendered completely. I said, God, just do whatever you want with me. I clearly don't have a direction. I'm completely lost. Just take me wherever you feel like I'm going to be useful and in peace. You know, and there it was, you know. So
Yeah,
sometimes, you know, and I'm sharing this because it happened to me in my life, when we are lost, when we really don't know what to do next, maybe we should listen to, well, surrender. I know it's hard, and it feels like it's not giving up, by the way. It's not giving up. Surrendering is about trust
yeah,
that you are going to be guided, and then just listen, trust.
yeah. Sometimes, and like it happens when we really want something, really, and are stuck, and then you're talking about the surrender. So, and then it's like you pushing so hard, doing everything, because you know we do, yeah, we move from one thing to another and have goals and want to have plans and do that. Or when I do that, I'll get there. When I do this, I'll get there. And then it feels very hard. It feels so hard that you're exhausted, you're burned out. And then what you say is life saying, like, just, you know, you have the belief, you know that there's more and you can do it and you will get there, because that's there as well. That's that, isn't it? You know, and that's what drives us. But this is not like this, or not this way, and we're not listening. We're still pushing,
Yes.
and then something happens that just like slaps you, and it's like, all right, gives you like life gives you like a big slap back, you know, like, oh, completely down. And it's like, okay, well, this is, I have to, like, I have to surrender and really and believe, and still have that belief and hope and that and trust that, yes, everything is for the highest good, and I'm going to listen to the my inner self, what is the universe or whatever, God, you know, higher self is telling me, and now I'm going to be guided. But it's still you still doing things and not sitting and waiting like that, you know. Sometimes it happens in meditation, some, you know, all of those things, but you know, everyone knows what, or, you know, that's what I do as well, and you do very well, that you intuitively connect to those people, and you find out, and you know what they need, and what you give them the not tasks, the exercises and then things, so that they can sit with themselves, so that they can be in that space, so that they can trust, so that they can receive. Yeah. And then it takes
unfolds, and
then it unfolds,
and
then it happens.
This is miraculous and kind of soothing thing in life. You know how sometimes in life, guys, and let us know whether it relates, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes in life we have a huge thing that has been happening, and it's something that is not working, or is that person has always been that way, or the boss always treats me that way, or you know, something that is, you know, hurting you, feel like you can't move it, you can't fight against it, whatever you do is always the same. My husband always responds this way, I got no way to explain it to him, he's not listening, whatever it is. Yeah. And you feel stuck, with other words, and you know, and sometimes everything what is happening to you, it just needs time for it to happen for a little bit longer, for you to have that experience, to get to the point to say enough, and then find another way. And also, if vice versa, if you're going after something, success is not a straight line, trust me, guys. It's like it goes everywhere.
And it's everything that we're talking about, really.
Yes.
Up, down, around. Yeah.
And just accept it and receive it, and just, there will be doubts, of course, everybody's got them, and there will be doubts about yourself, doubts about whether all these things that we are talking about works, or reality is cruel, or you know, there will be questions. But then also remember that if the task or something ahead of you is too big, it's one day at a time, it's one thing at a time, it's one phone call at a time, it's one conversation at a time, and everything unfolds. One thing leads to another, and that's what I love about life also, that everything is evolving, you know, we are evolving, we, you know, if we are courageous enough, we are growing. So I hope it all makes sense, and
yes,
let us know. Let us know whether it's giving you something. We always love to, you know, have that kind of feedback, whether it resonates and what you're getting from all this. I always ask my people as well. And now, just a little bit, Susie, can you take us through, because in terms of success, I want to go through just very briefly the kind of pillars of what we call in psychology Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we are going to be talking about needs as a human, you know, needs that are the most important for us, and general needs that as a human beings we need, just to put things maybe that you're dealing with, or you know, into perspective, one thing, and also, you know, give you a little bit food for thought of other types of needs, and where you stand in this in terms of your happiness, success, satisfaction in life. This is, if you want to take us through it.
So this Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory of motivation. So that means that if we want to get to the to achieve our goals or move in life, we need motivation for that. We need to be motivated somehow. And so there is this pyramid that his theory is that the needs are, we have different needs, and the basic needs are survival needs, which are it's physiological needs. I have to check. Then there,
like
then there
basic
is
things like air, water, safety. You know, people deal with this in a war zone.
Yeah, shelter. So what we need to survive, is the shelter that we, you know, house or whatever shelter. So we're not exposed to elements. So we feel safe. So that starts at the basic needs: water, food, hygiene, shelter. Then it moves, when you have that, then it moves into safety needs.
Can I just interrupt for a
Yeah.
little second?
No, go on.
Just with these basic needs for those ladies who are, because I also support women with fertility, what I was surprised with is that inside of these physiological needs, one of the basic needs was also reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
So for those ladies who are, you know, it was surprising because you got safety, you know, food, shelter, that makes sense.
It's sex reproduction, yes.
But by nature and by this, it's very interesting. So for those of you ladies who are still on a journey to, you know, to get pregnant and to be a moms, that's why it is so challenging, because it's actually our desire, you know, deepest desire, and almost like, you know, same as, sorry, I compare it to animals. They got this animal needs to, is almost like animal needs to leave something behind.
Yes.
You know, so that's why it's in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I just wanted to add this in and share it. So if you're struggling with, you know, like, am I going mad because it's not happening? If you're suffering inside, that's why. Okay, just to put it into concept.
Yeah, and then in there is oxygen, temperature, you know, rest.
Yeah,
we need to rest, activity, need to be active. So it's all those
balance between
they're the basic needs that have to be met, or needs to be met, in order for us to move forward, or to feel safe, which is the next
exist
need.
Even
exist. Yeah.
So that's number one. That's one tier. We will send you a photo, okay, guys?
I have a picture. I've got a big book here.
Yeah, go on.
So that's the hierarchy need. This one is in psychology book. So, but we'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
And so that's the base. Those are the basic needs. And then when those are met, and when you think about it, when you feel warm, fed, you have obviously oxygen, breathe, you rest, you need to feel safe as well. You need to feel safe so that you're not exposed to the elements and things like that.
Personal security, you know. People in Ukraine at the moment, many places, they don't have personal security, because you never know when the bomb is going to, you know, land. You I mean, bless them, they even get used to it by now to a certain degree, because you have to adjust as a human being to the environment, to the situation, which is, you know, unbelievable capability for all of us. But, you know, like, these safety needs, it includes employment. You know that you will have money for next month to pay the bills. Is resources that resources that you have, you know, your health, you know, that you are able to, I don't know, use your hands to be able to, you know, do something, make yourself a food, or, you know, exist, or, you know, property, you've got a shelter, you've got somewhere to live. So that's the second tier. Yeah. And also so there is threat as well, so in those safety needs. So we want, like I said, because we evolved, and we're still evolving, but, you know, wanting to be safe and wanting to know that we're safe, that we are protected from the threat from the outside, whether it's weather or whatever it is. And also fear, protecting ourselves, it goes to personal also. This hierarchy is not just for, you know, it's also, it can be applied to, like you said, to relationships, or to the process of becoming a parent, or business, or anything. It could be applied to anything. So any threat, safety for any threat. Yeah. So that's the second need. Like example, just so we use example, something you can relate to. Like, you are not able to, let's say, thrive in business, for example, if your basic needs of safety are not met in terms of your relationship. If you are feeling like, you know, God forbid, threatened from your husband that he's going to physically attack you, is very difficult. I'm not saying it's many people actually live underneath their friend and they are still successful, but it's very, very difficult, you know. So with other words, your basic needs to be met. And by the way, rest is one of them. For those of you who are in a burnout, you know, of course we can't thrive in an area of relationship if we are struggling to maintain, you know, get through the day even, you know, with our, you know,
and even conceive, isn't it? If you're burned out and you can't really do you know, you're struggling and you don't have energy, you don't, your body, your immunity is down, everything is low.
Because when you think about it physiologically also, like reproductive system is the one that we need the least. Yes, we need first of all blood flowing in our body, we need, you know, our do you know what I mean? We need our digestive system,
immunity is working.
Like, but reproductive system is kind of like, you know, energy flows there when all the other systems are working in line. Do you know what I mean? That's when anyway.
And that exactly. So it goes with the hierarchy, with the pyramid. So the next one is love and belongings, where you have that, you know, that reproductive so that love is above when all those needs are met. Then we can move on to love. We can love, we can share, we can feel, we want to feel that we belong. But first we have to feel safe, we have to feed ourselves.
And I want to again pause here because it's just coming to me to say that again, you know, but I want to give you a broader concept, because don't think about threat only as a, you know, there is very unlikely bear is outside of this window and is going to eat me right now, even though I live in mountains, but it's still unlikely even in Slovakia right now. Thank God. I'm talking about threat when we are, you know, in a concept of, imagine your heart has been broken and you really believe that guy is going to be with you for the rest of your life. You know, you wanted to have a children with him, you moved a house together, you really believe that he's the one, and suddenly he's not in your life anymore. You split up, he betrayed you, whatever. What happens in you, of course, your heart is broken, you need to repair it. And of course, every time, chances are, when you have a chance for another date, even years after, at the back of your mind is, oh my God, you remember how much it was hurting that time. You are trying to avoid the pain, that kind of pain at all costs, because you know how difficult it was and what it took for you to repair your heart and, you know, come out of it. So when we are talking about this as well, we are talking about threat can be also this, you know, like you never want to be threatened this way. So that's when you are to a certain degree not able to start from the beginning, to give out your love, to open your heart to that degree, that to start a new relationship. And that's why we coaches or therapists come in, you know, to heal the, you know, to put things into perspective, to heal the past, to the degree that there is nothing left, that we clear the space for you to start over again, create something magical and much more beautiful. Does it make sense?
Yeah, exactly. So that we experience nowadays different threats than you know, ancestors.
But it's real fears. It's not real fears, but we understand them as a real fears. You know, fear that what if, you know, those what ifs. What if I could go everywhere and anywhere with my dad? What if my dad is not going to wake up next morning? What if the doctor is going to give him wrong medication? What if, you know, it could have been so many fears in even this situation alone, but I just chose not to go there.
Yes, exactly. And and you can only do that when that is already cleared from the past experiences.
Yes, and it's not like I didn't have a good experience. Actually, we didn't have a good experience with one of the nurses even now, but it's just how do you deal with it? How do you approach it? How do you who do you choose to be in that situation,
Yeah.
or in situation afterwards, to deal with that thing?
And sometimes you even want to do that. You want to shift that thought and that mindset and that, but then also your body, because if you have experienced something before, like your example, it may leave a residue in your body, which is an emotion, a feeling, and that comes up every time there is a situation like that. So again, that has to be healed or cleared or done with, so that next time a situation arises, you can deal with it in like with peace or with clear mind, without
In a new way.
In a new
You're
way,
not
without any
repeating the
of
pattern.
yes, without any of these feelings, like really like you have some people have heartbeat, you know, like there's something is going to happen, stomach squeeze, or big ball in the throat, and fear. So that needs to be clear, so that next time you can deal with it a different way.
And it's totally possible, by the way.
Yeah. So that's love. So that's love and belonging. So there's trust, affection, giving love, receiving love, being part of the group, friendship,
Very
family.
important and so valid, especially these days. Like, so many people feel alone.
Yeah.
Lonely. They even
And
have families. It's not like they live alone, but they feel alone, not, you know, misunderstood, not heard. So common. It's really pandemic. That's the pandemic. Real pandemic.
Exactly. So yeah, we are human beings. We meant to be connected with other human beings. We're not solitary beings.
I know a lot of people are joking that they are just going to hide the cottage in the mountains and
it's okay,
you know,
sometimes, but they still need to come out.
Yes, but they talk about, like, I don't want to be with anyone. I'm going to be completely self-sufficient, so I don't have to deal with any more human beings ever again. You know, but actually, you know, I know sometimes we feel like that because we maybe been betrayed, or we've been disappointed by people because, you know, they done it because they have their own stuff. And they didn't know, you know.
Exactly.
But in the long term, like Uzka said, we are not solitary creatures. We are a little bit like elephants. Been in Africa, so I know what I'm talking about. They always go in herds, and that's where we feel that's what is natural to us as a human being, to be together, to support each other, to walk together,
love each other. Yeah. Hopefully that's coming back. That collective love.
We are warming you up for Christmas, guys.
Yes,
what
exactly.
we are really doing now.
Exactly. And so the next one is I've got the more like detailed one, but which one do we have the next one?
I will just wrap it up because I know we're coming to the hour. So, but the last one, or the you know, the last one I just wrap up is everything to do with self-respect, realization, recognition, strength come to that category, and freedom. You know, the need, we are talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the need to feel free, to express yourself, to you know, to realization in terms of like use your potential. You know, that's the category. But again, you can, you know, go there, and you can, of course, you know, when your basic needs are not met and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills next month, you're not thinking about how much free time do I have, or, you know, how about my freedom of speech in this country? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's very, very useful tool and to look at, because to me, when I'm going through this, and even today as we are talking to you, the great is to see that, wow, most of us, the basic needs are met, thank God. You know, we are warm, we are fed, we have opportunity to, you know, and again, like the last bits I was sharing, that's food for thought. You know, how much freedom do I have in my life? You know, how much I'm using my potential. Am I living passionately, or is there enough color in my life? You know, am I looking forward to Christmas? That's a good indication whether you're successful, by the way. You know, do you see Christmas as all, oh, so much stress, or, oh, I'm going to be lonely, or feel lonely, or, oh God, I hope my husband is going to be home, so there's chance for more arguments. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, it's so good to be, you know, it's very, very good reflection of where you are in life. When
And it's
Christmas
also
happens.
good to understand, because sometimes we don't know, and that's not knowing what's happening and why things are happening causes more frustration and more stress and more, yeah, all of those things. So knowing that, okay, well, I might not be, for example, I might not be in the flow of feeling great because, oh yeah, because my, I'll just say basic needs are not met, because I'm hungry, my stomach is rumbling. Imagine when you're really, really hungry, and it happens to me. I don't know, maybe yeah, it happens to me when I'm very hungry. I can't concentrate. I get a headache. I can't do anything. I have to really eat, and then, oh, okay, well, that's done. So now I can come back to what I was doing or what I was focusing on. So it's really it's interesting, and it's good to understand. But also, they don't have to go together. Like sometimes they work as they just, it doesn't have to be in our life. It doesn't, because you said we have these basic needs. We have food, most of us. But you know, when you, for example, are lonely, and you have, you know, you have that need to belong and be loved, and be with someone at Christmas, for example, and you have a lot of food, or you can share, then maybe invite someone, you know, maybe invite someone and connect with people. And because that connects people, you know, everything connects. It doesn't have to be in order, but it works different ways as well. For example, some people don't have, we've experienced or seen, some people don't have the basic needs like shelter or house, but they still become successful people. Like in terms of, they still get the money, they still can build a business with nothing, because they have that drive, and they find a way along the way by connecting through love, through being helpful,
through sharing.
through
And I don't mean
sharing.
sharing just the cakes and food, even though that's nice too, but sharing
Yeah.
your real self.
Yeah, sharing knowledge, sharing skills, like they invent
Sharing
something,
how you
and then,
feel even.
yeah, and then that connects to people, which goes down to the hierarchy, but it really works together. It works together. So yeah, that's
Talking about
what I wanted
connecting
to-
people, one of my clients today said, you know, I have one woman and she lives on our streets, and I always was thinking she's like, you know, like Fiflana, I don't know how you say, like translate it, Susie.
You'll come to me.
Yeah, I don't know. She's, you know, like one of these ladies who are like, you know, arrogant, or, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, no, she always closed the gates of the doors, and I never like spoke to her, and I, you know, and she said they coincidence made that they started speaking, and she said, I realized, oh my God, we've got so much in common, but we are now laughing. Now we are good friends, and we became friends, but we are laughing because she was thinking the same about me, that I'm like that. So, and this is about, you know, talking about connection, you know, do something new, speak to someone who you would never speak to before, or hug someone who maybe you feel they need a hug, but, you know, drop that shit that you don't hug strangers because you will look like an idiot. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's success.
And that's
That's
success, to follow your heart. That's
Yeah.
actually big sign of success for me. Anyway, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I promise I released you on time today, and I didn't. Sorry, but it was so good. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Well, maybe at the end I just briefly say success isn't defined by whether you read a book, what clothes you wear. I mean, look at me, I've got Mickey Mouse today. You know, it's not the car you drive, it's not, I think it's how you really feel inside. You know, how you really feel inside on daily basis. Yes, we have ups and we have downs, but it's about when you allow yourself that little bit of silence. It's about what you are willing to admit to yourself, and in terms of what authentically you feel. It's about your relationships. It's about Christmas, where the Christmas still seem
Something happened there. Sorry.
Okay, you can hear me. Sorry, that was my godmother calling me, talking about relationships. So anyway,
yeah,
she
there
might
you go.
call again, so we wrap it up. Anyway,
No, okay.
thank you so much. I was just saying, it's pre-Christmas time, guys. It's not going to be absolutely joyful or ideal. Just drop it. That's what I want to say. Drop the expectations. We will be streaming in Slovak on Friday, and it's going to be pre-Christmassy. I look forward to that. So join us, because
Yeah,
we
me too.
speak Christmas, but speak
It's
Slovak.
been nice. It's been nice, and thank you all for joining us later, or now or later, and being with us. And see you on Friday.
See you on Friday. Thank you, Susie, for being here with us, for
And
your time.
thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
great week.